Hey everyone, I sold all of my XDTE today for WPAY. The yield is incredible. They announced today 88 cents. Now, covered call funds, those covered call ETFs are finished. That's old technology. Those days are over. This is the future. So the issue becomes marginable over non-marginable. You know, I had a margin of $343,000 this morning. I unloaded all of my XDTE, which is here. I love XDTE, it's great. But when you compare it to Round Hill's WPAY, the weekly pay universe, there's no comparison. Now, I don't love everything that's in the fund. I'm not a fan of MicroStrategy and a couple other things in there, but this performance is incredible. When you add NAV appreciation to massive payouts, the entire argument of NAV erosion ends. It's over. Game over. Finished. I sold all my XDTE, wiped my margin, okay, and I have 8,700 shares of WPAY. Now, we all know it's not going to pull that number every single week. It might be 50 cents or whatever, but we know it's not a first week flash. Why? Because it's not the first week. They could have done it to us, gave us a $5 foot long. You remember, right? The giant, stupid, ridiculous dividends from YieldMax that you never recover from. Well, that's why I come back to saying covered call funds are over. They are old technology. Shout out to YieldMax. You built the brand, you made a bubble, now it's popped. What are you going to do? I've heard other YouTubers saying, oh, what are they going to do, blah, blah, blah. Well, your name is tarnished because of your trading style that you've overlaid over every single fund that you have come out with as a single stock ETF. Covered call ETF. Now, this is only from my personal experience. I've lost tons of money in all of them, as are everyone in Misty, NVIDIA. Every one of them goes the same trajectory down. Why is this? This is the mechanics. I almost wanted to say the mechanics of the hustle. The mechanics of the hustle. That's what we're going to call it. And I challenge Mike, not Mike from CNBC. I don't want to talk to the CNBC talking head. Mike, radioactive Mike, okay, from Title. I challenge you to come on and speak about the fact that listen, I'm not that kid, that stupid kid with the glasses, Spencer, that you could sit there across from a bar stool and tell me that NAV erosion is just marketing fluctuation upside, moving up and down. No. Here's what happens. If the stock takes a hit, the covered call takes all the downside, okay? But on the upside, they come up very slowly. And unfortunately, every time this happens, the net asset value, or let's call it your account balance, cannot recover. And having a big YieldMax payout is like blowing a hole through your damn portfolio. And it's not just YieldMax, okay? They were the innovators of blowing a hole through your damn portfolio. And XDTE, even though it's an ODTE, right? I like the functioning of it and everything else. It's still a covered call fund. I'm done with covered call funds. Okay? Finish. I'm going to prove it to you right now with core number compounding. And then when I'm done, if you are still in a covered call ETF, you're an idiot. You're a dreamer. And as these things go down, like Ulti from $10 to the floor of $6 to now the floor of $5 to $6, soon to be the floor of $4 to $5. I watched it from $10 with 35,000 shares. But I was smart enough to get out. When you're bleeding out, you get up and call for help. Okay? You don't lay there and drink carrot juice and think you're going to recover. That's the equivalent of reinvesting and believing the dream. So I'm going to prove it to you now. I do core number compounding, which means I rip profits off the top regardless of share counts. I still get the dividends. And then I buy back in with the same money on a cheaper day. And it works out amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I've unloaded. All my margin is now gone. Why? It's non-marginable. But the truth is with almost 8,900 shares was my calculator. Here you go. What do we have? 8,900? Plus capital appreciation. Okay, no, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, that is what I wanted. Okay, so that's a week. Plus capital appreciation. Throw me off my fucking yacht, okay, in the middle of the ocean, and come back to find me on a desert island because I'm a fucking survivor, right? And I'll be standing there, and all my money will have fucking grown. Jackpots galore. Oh, jackpot strategy is still in effect. No reinvesting, no drip and dribble. Okay? What I do is I take all my massive dividends, I stick them in escrow. You know why? Because I want to see them. I want to see them build up. It used to be that I was going to pay off my margin, right, by selling everything and then keeping what was in escrow and whatever. So I would have sold my Round Hill WPAY to clear out my margin, but I say, you know, with this payout, and I like the holding, I like it that it goes up, it beats XDTE. Even if you take in the ratio of how many shares you'd have on margin, and without being on margin, wow. So let me tell you, this is going to be massive. Oh my God, look at this going up. I didn't even get to this yet. We're going to get to this. Stay for the core number compounding part. I ripped $10,500 off the top today. We'll get to this in a moment. Everyone stay with me. All hail Round Hill. Why? These are based on price action of the underliers. Yes, they are levered up and down. But here's the thing. If you are going to be levered down, it's okay, as long as you're levered back up and you're not capped. You see, all of these old-fashioned covered call funds are over because they can't recover. Any market hiccup, anything, they take the full downside, but they're capped on the upside. Do you know what that means? Let me make it clear for all of you what it means. It means that you will never, ever recover. Ever. You know why? A covered call fund is designed so that as soon as it's, let's say it holds a couple of stocks like Ulti, as soon as they begin to win, they're called away. As soon as their winners begin to win, they agreed to sell them. How stupid is that? You'll never recover. Howard Chan of Curve asked to interview me twice, wanted to talk. I said, I don't want to talk about covered call funds. They're over, bro. All due respect, they're over. It's finished. This is the future, and I'm going to prove it to you now. All right, let me teach you a little bit about core number compounding. Okay, you take one asset you like, or two of them, but I like to take one. In this instance, it is Round Hill's HOOW. Okay, now this does not need to recover from the NAV like a yield max fund covered call does, because I'm going to prove to you today it's ex-dividend day. Last week, I went ahead and I was up $11,000. I sold a small amount of the shares, okay, about 100 and something, to go ahead and rip that $11,000 profit off the top. It's called core number compounding. I put it aside for a red day. Nothing goes straight up, even if it's HOOW, okay? The Robin Hood, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, from Round Hill, HOOW, okay? Now, that's cash. Now, you know what happened the next day? The markets were down. This was down $5,000. I took their $11,000 that I just ripped off the top. I only invested $100,000. The focus of core number compounding, and tell me if you like this in the comments. The focus of core number compounding is the dollar amount, not the number of shares. So for me, I'm focusing on 100,000. When I get substantially over it, I rip off the top, put it at safety. Now, on a down day, because you're holding less shares and more is here, slows your downside. Yeah. And then in this instance exactly, I had 1,508 shares. I ripped this money off the top. The next day, I sold, oh, by the way, I sold like 138 shares. To do that, they were like $70. So this was my share count. Okay, 1,509. Today, by the way, my share count went up to 1,538. This was before I ripped that profit off the top. You see the cash balance was only 1,591, and after the profit rip, it was there. So we go to today in real time now. Hold on. All right, so here we are in real time today. Now, if you can see my screen, I am up $6,800 today. I already this morning ripped off $10,500 in profit. Look, it's right here, cash. And I am still going up. But here is the craziest thing you've ever seen. Today, my friends, is ex-dividend day. It's a $2.24 dividend, okay, on 1,500 now because I had bought back in. See, you missed it in this morning's video because my mic didn't work. I deleted it. But what happened here? Hold on, let me shut these women up. Look, it's the battle between Yield Max representative, see the J cheeks, and Round Hill in the middle. Round Hill in the middle. Hold on, let's go back. Oh, Rex Shares has just joined the party, and of course on the end here we have Defiance, Sylvia from Defiance. Rex Shares is Yield Max with a goddamn British accent. Fuck Rex Shares, we don't need that shit. Anyway, so here we have the battle of the yield hoes. This one represents Yield Max. Why? Well, you figure it out. This one represents Defiance. Why? You figure it out. This one right here is Rex Shares. Why? Bitch, she has a British accent. Boom! You figure it out. Shout out to Browse. Did you see Browse? SoCal Stevo standing right next to Yield Max. Oh my God, I should be wearing like a turban. I mean, look at this. What a pick. HOOW. Now, this morning, I had 1,500. You're going to love this. I had 1,538 shares. You know, because I only started, remember, I had 1,508. Now, these are $70 a piece. Don't be disrespectful of the count. 1,508. So I gained 30 shares, right? And you know what I did? I bought back in with the $10,000 on dividend announcement day. The day they announced $2.24 per share, getting $3,300 tomorrow. Now, why do covered call funds suck? Well, right now, look at this. I am ex-dividend and I am up $7,000. When does this ever happen? This is like an Airbnb without the bitches. Think about it. I put 100K in here. I could be dropped off and every week collect this money. I don't care how much it is. My NAV is growing in front of your face. I could rip more money off the top. You know, I should do that. Let's see what kind of day it is. It's a boom shakalaka day. It's right in the middle. Let's do some calculations here. So if I started with 100,000, so 113,727, right? Minus the 10,000, 510 that's sitting in cash. Okay, I am up another $3,217. You see, my balance is 103. I know I sound like Leo Lombarda, right? But no, I'm not delusional. This is not no misty NAV erosion depletion video, all right? So let's go ahead and sell, you know, let's sell $3,127 worth, should we? I say yeah. So we're at $72 for, this is HOOW from Round Hill, okay? So we're at 72 and $74. Wow. So if I was going to rip $3,000 is too small. I like $10,000 moves. When I tell you what, when it goes up another 10,000, I'll rip more off the top. I ripped 10,000 off in this morning's video, but I had to delete the video because it had gerbils. It had gerbils, like a STD, okay, of videos. The microphone was a disaster. So I'm not selling anymore, but think about it. I don't care what you have to say in your life. Today is ex-dividend day, okay? It's ex-dividend day. And I'm up $7,000 on ex-dividend day, and I ripped $10,500 for the second time off the top in 2 weeks, okay? And I have more shares now. Actually, right now I have less. I had 1,538. But now that I sold like 138 this morning to rip some of those profits and put them here, so I can buy back in and have more shares. You see, I went from 1,508 to 1,538. Now, when I buy back in on a red day, I'll probably have 1,568 or something like that, okay? I'm growing my shares faster than any DCA. If you DCA into something that's going down like Ulti, every dollar you put in is just vanishing. Doesn't matter, you know, forget about buying shares. Look at your money. It vanishes. Now I'm going to give you all my real feelings. People, this is insane. I'm about to hit 114,000 here. It just keeps going up and up and up. Let me show you what ticker this is. HOOWF, up 10% today. Yeah, you have to profit rip on a day like today. That's extraordinary. You know, I tell you, we never really see Jay talking to like CNN or anything like that, right? But we see Jay talking, well, not anymore. Now they got it, the new guy, Kung Pao Chicken. I don't know what his name is. Mike Kung Pao? Mike Kung Pao! I don't know how to say your name, bro. But I know radioactive Mike with the golf ball shine, the golf tennis. I don't know if it's golf, tennis with a lot of leisure activity to create that kind of suntan. And from the degree, or I would say from the depth of the redness, it looks like a kind of Palm Beach tan. But Dave from Round Hill don't interview anybody. All right, he's over here, Miami Vice style, sitting there. He's like gangster. Look at this.
I had 22 at last count. Who's using these, and what are they doing with them?
These ETFs are really intended to be used for tactical trading, and by that I mean the ability to make
Listen,
exposure.
we don't got to talk to YouTubers. Sit down, shut up. We're going to prove ourselves with our trading. We deliver, okay? We don't have to go on retard on dividends and wear a Santa hat and do all of this crap, right? And look, this is Dave.
Inverse
They
one.
don't fuck around from Round Hill. He don't even want to talk to you idiots. Did you hear this? There was a lot of regulatory. This was back in the day, okay? This, I don't know, but this was more towards when, this was before Round Hill Weeklies, okay? But listen to this.
Hostile towards them, and many in the ETF community who say the invested public can't get their head around this daily reset of them.
Yeah,
And
this
these
is about
products have
ETF, blah, 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 levered ETFs, but that's not the point. Who cares? The point is this. Today is ex-dividend day for me on this one account that only holds one thing, and that's HOOW. And it's ex-dividend by $3,500, and I'm up $7,000 for the day. You can't beat that, and you cannot deny that it's over for covered call funds. These old-fashioned covered call funds are done. I'll never touch one again, okay? Never, ever, ever, ever. And that's it. If I wasn't nice, didn't give you a nice, make you feel nice and warm and like, you just got jizzed on your face, there are other channels that will be nice to you. Retard on dividends will sing to you. He'll dress like a woman. All right, he's got a dildo called the Rodinator. Okay? There's a lot of idiots out there. You can listen to all the schmucks. Anybody who went to the Yield Max convention, okay, you should stop listening to. They're just fucking idiots. Right or wrong? You want your NAV to go up or you want your NAV to go down? When I invest in something, you tell me you're going to trade for me. Get the fuck out of here and go fucking trade. Get the fuck off YouTube. Stop doing fucking interviews and trade. Or else we're all going to call you out for the fucking assholes that you are. Now get the fuck out of here. Oh, and by the way, I'm officially turning down any fucking interviews. All right? You think I'm kidding, right? Look, I'm going to tell you point blank. I told Howard Chan, you'll probably see him doing interviews. Nice guy. You're a great guy. I enjoy talking with you each time. All right? But I'm not a fan of covered call funds. At this point, they're old technology. They don't work. You can do your own covered calls, yes. But in an ETF, fuck no. Okay? So, no. Sorry, bro. And you know why I can say no? You know why I can say no? Because I'm not some handout grubbing YouTuber. I don't need anything from anybody. I fucking stand here with or without anyone. Have a nice day. Don't get jizz on your lips. You look stupid. Glossy. Boom for your fucking cockmax. Have a nice day. If you stay till the end, the word is cockmaxed. We all got cockmaxed, and now we learn better. Oh, and by the way, I don't like rec shares. You know why? Because it's Yield Max with a fucking British accent. Get the fuck out of here with that stupid interview, you fucking idiot.